Hey, what is up guys? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to Gran Turismo 7 update 1.52. In today's video we're going to continue on with my update 1.52 car reviews, of course looking at the Mitsubishi Lancer Evolution 8, brand new to this update. So does the Evo 8 continue the trend of pretty much the entire Evo family being some of the best track cars in Gran Turismo 7? Well, today we're going to deep dive into it and find out exactly if that's the case. So let's start off with the stats and price point. As you can see, it has a PP rating of 512.88. A displacement of 1997cc, four-wheel drive, 276 brake horsepower, weighing 1400 kilograms, and of course is turbocharged. You get all this for a price of 80,000 credits, and by no means is this an absolute world beater to today's standards, but it's still fairly serviceable, especially for such a low PP rating. You can also grab this on rotation from the used car dealership for 65,800 credits, so slightly cheaper but with some mileage on it. You may as well just go for the brand new model for around about 14,500 credits more. So the Mitsubishi Lancer Evolution 8 is a rally-bred beast designed for both the road and the track. It remains the pinnacle of Japanese turbocharged performance from the early 2000s, and even today is an absolute icon to many JDM enthusiasts. But really, what makes it so special? Let's start off with the design. As you can see, really from the Evo 7 upwards of the Evo 9, there was this fairly iconic shape to them that seemed to appeal to enthusiasts across the world. In terms of the vehicle you see in here, the Evo 8, it features an incredibly aggressive body kit and vents pretty much left, right and centre. By no means is this just a standard looking sedan. We've got everything that serves a purpose. The MR version in particular, which stands for Mitsubishi Racing, is packed with even more track focused enhancements. It's got a lighter aluminium roof to lower the centre of gravity, exclusive BBS wheels that give it a much sharper and exclusive look, and improved handling. As you can see, the Evo 8 is very much built for a driving enthusiast. Inside we have the likes of the Recaro seats, which kind of became synonymous with the Evo itself, and of course that Momo steering wheel. See, the key point about this car is everything is functional, inside and out. It's not about being the most luxurious, it's all about serving a purpose that makes the driving the key factor when it comes to the Evo. So with everything in terms of the styling inside and out being performance orientated, of course we can't talk about the car without talking about the engine. So under the bonnet you've got that 2-litre turbocharged inline-4 known as the 4G63, the engine with a legendary reputation, producing 276 horsepower and 295 pound-foot of torque in the GSR trim. As you can see, it's all about delivering a pretty brutal power and very much refining it. So couple that power with a four-wheel drive system that is of course from the rally days of the Evo, and you've got yourself a car that can launch itself to 0 to 60 in absolutely no time. You also get a ton of grip from the car itself that can pretty much go on any surface you can think of, whether that be tarmac, snow, dirt. This thing can absolutely do it all. However, there is a downside to the car itself, and I think it's one that is known by a lot of people. That is the turbo lag of the Mitsubishi Evo 8. So in terms of the real world, this car is known for having a very laggy turbo that will absolutely come out of nowhere and start to blow you away. That is unfortunately not very much well implemented in Gran Turismo 7. It's something that we don't really see. There's a slight lag to the turbo, but it definitely doesn't stand out as much as it would in its real world counterpart. In terms of the car itself, it's fully built to be very, very precise. One thing you will notice is that you can throw this car around and have zero issues whatsoever. It will give you confidence right from the get-go to just throw it into a corner and the car will stick and launch you back out the other side. Another thing that is fantastic about the car is the close ratio 6-speed manual transmission. It really does suit the car itself. You'll be banging through the gears in absolutely no time, and it really does seem to suit pretty much any track design in the game. It really does make it an insanely versatile vehicle. However, there is a key downside to the car, and that's actually going to be just how good the brakes are, which you might think is, well, a bit stupid to say if you're saying the brakes are good, but they are that good that the weight of the car will dip itself right down before leveling back up as you start to put the throttle in. This is definitely something that's going to force you to adjust your driving style if you are not running a different suspension tune on the Evo 8. However, once you've learnt that, honestly, this car, it has the ability to be thrown around every single track in the game, no problems at all. Next up, of course, is the sound of this thing. It's, of course, turbocharged, and that is one thing that Gran Turismo 7 absolutely gets right, is the sound design of this car. You've got the spule up of the turbo, and of course, the blow-off valve whistling away. In terms of the overall vehicle, I think they've done a fantastic job of bringing the Evo 8 to Gran Turismo 7. This is absolutely the best version we've seen in any Gran Turismo game, and it's absolutely the top dog when it comes to track-focused, refined JDM engineering of the early 2000s. So I'm happy to report that it follows in the footsteps of the other Evos as an absolute driver's dream. So let's head over and see where it ranks on our lap time leaderboard. It does come 12th out of 13 vehicles, so second to last. However, once again, it is up against some fairly quicker competition. It did the Nordschleife in a time of 8 minutes 3.66. Overall, not too shabby, and as you can see, it doesn't really hold a candle to some of the other vehicles on this list, so that is absolutely to be expected. However, of course, we can't just review the standard version, we of course have to go for the fully upgraded version as well, and that is where all of the Evos stand out amongst anything else in GT7. I have never hidden the fact that I am more of a Subaru Impreza guy than I am a Mitsubishi Evo guy. However, when it comes to Gran Turismo 7, the Evo is absolutely the standout of track day precision. Every single one of these cars is insanely refined and some of the best driving experiences you can have in game. And it's no different when it comes to the Evo 8. Once again, this continues the trend that all of the Evo family line is absolutely brutal when it comes to running those upgrades. And it also continues to be some of the best handling vehicles in game. The Evo 8 is insanely aggressive, and any single flaw you may have had will be completely gone. You've thrown all the weight out, so it's incredibly lightweight and maneuverable, added bigger brakes, a better suspension setup, and a ton of aero, and this thing just wants to stick to the tarmac like it's glued there. We also can't talk about upgraded versions of the Evo without talking about just how good this car is at 700 pp. Pretty much running fully upgraded with no ballast or power restriction needed. You can run a fully upgraded Evo 8 at 700 pp and grind away for hours in one of the best driving experiences you can think of. Thankfully, the Evo 8 does continue this trend that seemed to really kick off once the Evo 3 had been launched. After that, of course, we've had the Evo 9 and now the Evo 8, and every single one of them stands out as some of the best drivers' cars in the entirety of GT7 when upgraded. Now, of course, it does lack some of the top speed of, the supercars in game. However, what is so good about this car is the price point coupled with the overall performance and not having to downgrade. It gives you the ultimate experience without having to then destroy it, adding extra ballast or power restriction. And for me, that's where this car stands out as an absolute bargain and one of the best bargains you can buy in Gran Turismo 7. From price to performance, it's an absolute menace. So with so many generations of Evo now in game, you can practically just go ahead and pick your favourite and you'll be absolutely golden with it. In terms of the lap time for this car, it comes actually 6th overall, beating the likes of the 430 Scuderia, Expo, Subaru Impreza Rally Car, Toyota Celica, F430, M3, which is just ridiculous for such a cheap vehicle. A time of 1 minute 58.422, only being bested by some of the best vehicles in the game, the likes of the Gallardo, GTR T-Spec and the Roof RGT. And there we have it, the Evo 8 continues to trend that pretty much the entire family of Evolution vehicles are some of the best in Gran Turismo 7. Let me know what you think of it down in the comments below, and a big thank you to all of my channel members listed on screen now. Thank you so much for watching, take care guys, peace.